Are we ready?
I feel like we're ready. Are you ready? Get my Triple H on.
Ah, fuck.
I used to be a wrestling fan.
Salud.
Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Kanpai.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the podcast where we pull back the curtain, give you some insight on what goes on behind the scenes here for every bar and restaurant. We like to call that the industry perspective.
What's up, motherfuckers?
And huzzah, bitches.
Hi, everyone.
Someone came
Perfect.
with their own
You got it.
intro.
Fucking perfect.
So wholesome. Love it.
Yeah.
So wholesome.
That's what
I'm
happens when you.
excited to be here.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
so happy.
That's what happens when you actually come and hang out for a couple episodes,
prepared.
and then you actually are on one. You just feel comfortable.
Damn, you talking shit about our other guest? Kidding, it's a joke. It's a joke.
At least not.
At least he showed up.
It's a joke. Oh, that is a shot.
Oh.
I first met Nando, I want to say 3 years ago at the bar
Yeah.
he's currently working at. Back at this restaurant I used to work at a few years ago. Get off early, go to his bar, nightcap, and that's when I barely knew the guy at the time. Gave me his card for this podcast, and I would peep it from time to time. Last year and a half, I got more involved with watching the podcast. I'd just be at home, cleaning, sweeping, cooking. I have it on in the background, so. And I thought it'd be cool to be here one day, and I'm so.
Now,
Look at
did
that.
you guys like connect because of the hair situation? Like,
It was kind of.
you guys just like
Yeah,
Spider-Man
'cause-
meme. You're like,
yeah, because back then that was when I had the blue hair.
yeah.
Yeah, when we first met.
Well, I've been bleaching my hair, bleach platinum for quite some time. The whole color thing is, I'm still fairly new to it.
Okay.
My stylist convinced me finally to just give in and try out some colors.
Yeah.
I did purple like a year and a half ago, and I've been hooked on colors ever since. I've done them
It looks good.
all: burgundy,
Purple looks good.
pink, green. Like a flame-colored hair, like Rengoku from Demon Slayer. That was really cool too, as well.
Yeah, that's kind of
And
what I
then,
was going for too.
Yeah.
Wait, what shirt you got on now? Is that
I'm not sure honestly. I found this in Little Tokyo and I didn't know what.
picked it
I
up.
just I was I want that.
Okay. Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Also, we haven't introduced you yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
right, yes.
Daniel,
Hey, everyone.
Daniel.
welcome, Daniel?
welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
I got lots coming in here actually.
We all find our way.
Yes.
So for everyone out there, now that we've learned about your hair choices, let's let everyone know what is your current position in the service industry? What do you do? How did you start? All of those things. Let's get to know you a little
Oh
bit.
right, yeah. Let's see.
Let's do a flashback here.
My name is Daniel. I'm 34 years old. I've been bartending for 11 years. I first started out in Long Beach, and after a year out there, I made my way to Los Angeles. And let's see, I've done a good variety of places: breweries, whiskey bars, pubs, restaurants, nightlife, clubs, sports bars. So yeah, I like to think I'm pretty well versed.
Stacked
It's one thing I've
resume.
always
Yeah.
prided myself in, to just be not a one-trick pony, just to be adaptable and just be well versed. You know.
I just want to say the laugh I let out is because you are the first person in all the years we've been on the show that just came right out and said, "This is my age. This is how long I've been doing it. Respect the hustle." You know, everyone else is like always alluding to, "Oh, I'm this age and I've done it for this long." And I just laughed because I was like, "You were like, I don't give a fuck. Hey, this is me. Stat line, like stat line." And I know you've done a lot of bar compositions as well.
Those are, I mean, yeah, actually, so when I was younger, late 20s, I'm like, oh, okay, I drink, and I'm like, but I just drink, simple things, Jack and Coke, margaritas.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be cool to like bartend in my 20s and just find out just different ways to drink. I mean, and when I started off, I fell in love with the world of bartending, honestly. I'm like, it's an ever-growing world. I mean, people are always constantly pushing the boundaries on what a cocktail can be, and I just think that's super cool. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's come to a whole culinary aspect, and people are cooking, baking.
Yeah.
I love that.
Fat
I
washing.
Punching.
fucking
Fat
love that. I just think that's so cool. So, yeah, so it became a passion of mine, which is why I'm a lifer. I'm in this for
Now,
quite some time.
what are
so.
your thoughts?
But I did get into it. Sorry for
Go ahead.
competitions when I was in my early 20s. I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to like compete, and like that's just
Yeah.
saying, I love things like that. And I did it. I got discouraged at some point. A couple of the older guys I worked with, I heard some bad stories. I got discouraged. But then I did one a little over a year ago, and I just fell in love with it all over again. So yeah, they're fun. Whether you win or lose, I mean, it's all spotlight. It's like it's a network. I have fun doing it, honestly. So.
Now, what do you think about the word mixologist?
Let's see. I don't hate it. I know some people hate it. I don't. To those who are out there and they are true mixologists, I mean, I respect the grind definitely, because some people, are constantly doing R&D, constantly doing crazy things for seasonal menus, so they are doing some crazy things that does deserve the title of mixologist. But there are some people who I've worked with in the past who are self-proclaimed mixologists. And,
Like, relax, buddy. You work at Dave & Buster's,
You know,
okay? It's not that
no,
serious.
like you'll meet them and they're like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm a mixologist." Chill.
Wow.
Chill.
Get a load of this guy.
Yeah. So
Tuck it back in your pants, buddy.
You know.
Jesus Christ.
You want to see it?
And like I've shut it down too before in the past. People who just don't know, people they go out once every couple months. They'll just see a couple of cool tricks, and they're like, "Wow, you're a mixologist," And I'll shut it down. I'm like, "Thank you, but no, I'm not." I'm like, because I know actual
We don't do that
mixologists,
here.
Yeah,
who
we don't
are
do that
deserving of
here.
the title, and I'm like, I'm not.
I'm just setting shit on fire and flipping this tin. Ain't
Yeah,
nothing
actually,
serious.
that's fun to me, So
Yeah, I see you do that quite a bit.
yeah, that's a lot of fun.
When did you get into like flair bartending?
That was another thing when I was younger. I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to just do cool tricks. I mean,
Yeah.
what we do, is definitely hospitality. It's really all about the guest, their experience. Things that constantly inspire me or just kind of keep me going all the time is whenever I hear, for example, this past Sunday, I was working Memorial Day weekend, and I was tired working all weekend, and this first customers, this couple sat at the bar top, and they were telling me how they haven't been out in 6 months. And that was their first night out on a Sunday night, and
to hear that,
and I was their guy, and I was the person who was talking to them, and making their first night out in months. So
That's
so it's
cool.
yeah. I mean, if I can make their night, by doing a little fire show or just doing a couple of cool tricks, that's cool.
I like to hear that too. When you know that you're making it. It's already an event for them to be out, and that kind of gives you an opportunity to add to the experience
Yeah.
with whatever your brand of hospitality is, whether it's some flair, whether it's just I got a couple jokes, or whatever it is that you do to bring out the good hospitality. I love that opportunity to connect with people on a special event or occasion like that. That's dope.
Yeah.
So when we asked earlier and then we kind of trailed off, what was it that got you into the industry in general? How
What
did you get your start?
inspired you?
I've been working since I was 16 years old. I started off dishwashing, host, server, bartending. My whole family were all in the industry. Dad, chef, cook, mom,
wow.
general manager, many restaurants. So yeah, I mean,
Just kind of just.
I
you
just
fell
like
into it.
I mean, I did try it out, and I'm like, there's something I can do for sure. I mean, some people, might try out retail and they're like, this is so fucking boring. Thank God I didn't do that. I mean, let's see, good question. No, I once I had the idea of bartending ingrained in me, I chased that. And I got to it, and I didn't stop there. I mean, I started off at a restaurant, and I wasn't like, this is what I'm gonna like. This is where I'm gonna stay. This is what I'm gonna settle for. No, I wanted to just always just do more, learn more, keep growing in my field. I never stop learning in what I'm doing. Honestly, I that's what I love about it. So,
Oh.
yeah.
That's
For
really
me, it
cool.
was watching Bar Rescue.
Watching
Rescue?
what? Bar, shut the fuck
No, wait.
Bar Rescue.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
He said that before.
I've said it before.
He
Bar
said it
Rescue.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting at home watching Bar Rescue, I'm like, oh, bartending looks cool. I don't know why he's yelling at them like he's Gordon Ramsay, but like, yeah, I can bartend. If these idiots can do it, I can do it.
You know, that's actually, it's funny because I watched that too when I was definitely younger. And I'm like, oh, but before I was even in the industry, and I'm like, this is so cool. I'm like,
Yeah.
But what you said, I'm like, why is he yelling at them like that,
Yeah.
Some people actually do deserve it,
Some of them
Yes.
do.
Yes.
Some of them do.
Absolutely.
After being in it, you're like, what do you mean you don't know how to make a Long Island? What the fuck?
Or just some owners who just looked the other way and their walk-in coolers, like where the kegs would be, I would just be filled with mold, and it's disgusting. They deserve that. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. If you're a shitty owner or you're bad at your job, I'm not saying you deserve to be yelled at, but you do deserve to be told. There are different ways to do it, but of course that's a reality show, so they have to sensationalize it. Don't do that at home or at work.
Please.
A lot of people don't like being yelled at. Like, for real. I know I'm one of them. I never really got into any of the reality TV aspects of the service industry. I never got into, any of the Gordon Ramsay stuff, none of the John Taffer stuff. Like,
I love Kitchen Nightmares.
I have never enjoyed it only because the same reason we started this show. I only want to.
There was a little gnat on the.
Just sprinkling over
No.
my beard?
No,
I know. It's all
I
good,
got
man.
you.
I think he just drugged you.
Possibly.
No, I just added some protein in there. It was a
Okay.
bug.
So
There's definitely a sound.
I just don't like the sensational, nature of reality TV. I've just never been into that. Regular people are difficult enough to deal with without you trying to hype it up and doing stuff just for the cameras.
I like it because it's like, how did y'all let it get to that point?
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck? Oh my god! Like, how negligent are you? You just let it get to that point where, like, your place is empty every day that you're open. Like, and you're like, no, this is fine.
And they're barely paying.
This
like,
is
the
fine.
rent.
Yeah.
It's just like, maybe you should make a change, or maybe we should go on a reality TV show to make a change. It's like,
Or
no, you should
let the
know that
mafia
once.
use it as a front to wash their money. I mean, I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
Forget about it.
We don't salute and we don't condone.
it's entertainment. It's definitely
It's
entertainment.
just entertainment. It really is.
I was going to ask you, because it sounds like you were kind of like the Thanos of all the different types of bartenders. Like just collecting all.
Oh
all
yeah,
of them.
I'm Thanos. Sasha.
It's just like-
Thank you.
I mean, he's even got the purple too. So
It's like you just say nightclub, sports bar, like all those. Like,
Okay.
And as we know, and some of you guys probably know, like they each have their own specific element, and like you kind of have to change your
Oh,
style
yeah.
of bartending
Oh, yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Do you have like a particular favorite or reason why like that particular environment of bartending would be your favorite? Like I think you said you prefer nightclub, or you did at one
No,
point.
I don't.
You don't prefer
I've never
nightclub?
preferred nightclub.
Oh.
I can work in any environment similar to Daniel. Is this?
Yeah.
If I was working in a nightclub, I like the fast pace because you don't have to think about it.
Right.
But I'm also like you, where I don't want that every shift, and that's
Right.
why I like where I work at now. I get the fast-paced environment on the weekends at a certain time for about 3.5, 4 hours, depending on the shift or whatever. We might be really busy, and then it's just don't think, just serve drinks, have a few interactions, have some fun. The music should be good. But then I love my, weekday shifts as well, where I can just sit there and talk to people and get to know them, and sometimes I have guests that will inform me on different spirits and cocktails.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, just as an example, but just was wondering what your favorite style of or environment of bartending is.
I dig energy. I mean, I dig all kinds of energy. I dig the energy of, sports crowds. I mean, even though I'm not like into, I use basketball, for example. I don't watch it religiously, but I can be there and really be into the energy of the crowd, no matter the fan base that's there. Nightlife, the entertainment, the music, it's all energy. I dig that too as well. High volume craft cocktails. I mean, you're making flashy drinks that look presentable. People are taking photos of. I dig all that. So, favorites. I'm a night owl by nature, so I like nightlife, I would say. So that's definitely where I lean more towards to. I would say, yeah.
So you're not going to be the brunch bartender.
Ah, God.
Depends on the brunch.
No, and it's
Is it
funny.
a
'Cause,
pool
I mean,
brunch?
Yeah.
like for my non-industry friends who are not in the industry, I mean, they reach out. Sometimes they want to do brunch with me sometimes on Sundays, and when I hear that, the thought of that, I'm like, fuck.
Like, I just closed last night, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I didn't get home till like 3.
I get home past 3 in the morning on a Saturday, and then oh my God,
You want me to do
go
brunch?
there. I know.
People don't understand
God.
that.
Yeah.
People really don't understand that.
Yeah.
But some people, they live for brunch. Like some people, they love doing brunch. Like they're out there. You'll see them like on their stories. Every weekend and stuff in the summertime. They love it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rob is a slut for some
I
brunch.
used to be a brunch bitch. Fuck you.
Absolute whore for some brunch.
I was, bro, because one, I love breakfast food, even though usually the food is like mid at most brunches. But
Yep.
it was my work schedule at that time. Like I want to say my first like 3 or 4 years when I had moved to LA, I worked 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and I was starting to get into the service industry, and I was serving on Saturdays and Sundays. So the only time I had to hang out with friends would be Sunday afternoon before I worked my Sunday dinner shift. And so it just was like, hey, if you want to hang out with me, meet me for Sunday brunch. That was like the only time I could hang out with people, and I would just be a little drunk during my Sunday dinner shift, as you do. And so that's where brunch grew on
Super.
me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You gotta work through it. You gotta push through. So that's how brunch grew on me, but
Cool.
neither here nor there.
Now everyone knows.
I don't judge brunch. I don't have a problem with brunch. It's just I don't like some of the places we've worked at, and the way that they
Beauty
do
in
brunch.
Essex. Fuck that place. R.I.P. Rest in peace. You won't be missed.
So yeah, I don't like all brunches. I
Right.
just like a good vibe. I like when brunch is done correctly to where the staff is having a good time as well. That's how I judge a brunch.
That's tough.
So yeah, and that's what I mean.
Yeah, I
so
don't see
that's
that many
it's
places.
just like going anywhere else. Now that I've been on this side of the aisle or side of the bar for so long, it's hard for me to go into a place and not see everything that the staff is going through. So if it's a good brunch,
Because places like Beauty in Essex will have those bartenders cloping.
yeah,
Dicks.
hard clopins too.
I think I have worked at a couple of brunch spots in the past, like Silver Lake, some other spots too, and closing Saturday night, being there the next day and stuff. I think just me working behind the scenes, just seeing it all, I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. On my time off, because the idea of like bottomless mimosas, to the masses, they love that. But for me, I'm like, I see they use the cheapest orange juice, the cheapest champagne.
Or you're
So
gonna
it's
get a
like
headache.
sugar, headache, and then you eat food, so you have a full stomach mixed with all this cheap sugar. It's gonna be a fucking stomach ache and get sick, headache. None of that sounds fun to me.
my God.
I was giving you shit, but I haven't done a brunch in a long time. I want to do a brunch.
I've said
I
before we
like
should
them.
all do one.
I like-
but you've
yeah.
never. You keep working on Sundays, so we don't get a
Yeah,
chance to go.
I'm scheduled off, and then I'll pick up a shift. I'm just like, oh man,
Yeah.
my bank account.
Way my bank account set up, I can't get eggs and bacon, so I gotta
so
work.
I'm gonna go to work.
My
But
my mimosas are not bottomless.
they're not really single. Nah, but we should definitely do brunch
Yeah.
at some point. And so we'll find a place, wherever that place is, where the staff is happy during brunch.
Yo,
No,
let us know.
No,
in the
there
comments.
there definitely are those. Because I mean, so when it comes to bartenders, I've come to see that there's
Cafe
different
Gratitude, they're always
kinds of
happy there.
bartenders.
Sorry. Cafe Gratitude, they're always happy
Yeah,
there.
but it's vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's vegan.
I mean, it is.
Out of the question.
No, it's not that. It's not so much that it's out of the question. It's just that look who you're dealing with. You're dealing with vegans in their natural habitat, or people who got convinced to go to a vegan restaurant and they don't know what
We're
they're
not
gonna
shitting on
get.
vegans. We're not shitting on vegans.
Yeah, so
We're not shitting
the
on vegans.
staff is just, oh yeah, of course I'm having a great day. It's a
Yeah.
vegan restaurant. You knew
There's
what the
no
fuck
toxins in my body.
Yeah,
It
you know what
is,
the fuck this
You're not
was.
dealing with many shitty people.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
so
Wait,
yeah.
but you said you've
I
seen
don't know,
places
some
where
vegans.
like people are happy to work brunch.
Yeah, so there's different kinds of bartenders that come to scene throughout the years. Whether like some bartenders they live for the nights, like nightlife, like me and Nando. Some bartenders I've met, whether 20s, 30s, they just want day shifts. They just want to work Monday through Friday days, lunch shifts, or
I am not
they just
trying to
want
work days.
they just want days on the weekends. So there are those out there, who want those shifts and are happy to have those shifts, and I'm more than happy to let them have those shifts.
Let them have them.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You take your pay cut.
But then that's on management, because
Yeah.
a lot of times what I've noticed whenever it comes to people having to clopen and work brunch shifts and be in those really shitty environments, it's because management isn't doing their job to foster a healthy environment.
Yeah.
By not letting people clopen, because they have their favorites and their favorites can't clopen, and if they do, they clopen a different way. Because if they clopen, they know they're leaving early because they're hanging out with management at the end of their shift. I don't like that shit. That's what really just brings the energy down into a venue.
Yeah.
Because then you have those kind of guests that come in, and the guests make or break your place. But people don't always talk about that management, ownership, the decisions that they make. That's what leads to who comes into your venue. You are who you want to have in your venue.
So do you have a favorite style? I don't think you told us. Do you have a favorite style of bartending out of all the ones you've worked? Which one's like
Nightlife.
nightlife?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nightlife, the club.
Not necessarily clubs, but as long as like it's I like music.
So
there's-
music and
there's,
craft.
There's entertainment there. Yeah, craft
Somewhere
too as well.
okay. Like that blend, that fusion.
Yeah, whether it's like a speakeasy or as long as there's like if it's like a DJ, live band, something there like that keeps the guests entertained, keeps us entertained too as well. Like I like
Not just the Spotify
when things are
playlist.
always just kind of being different. If it stays the same, I feel like people get bored.
Yeah.
It's LA. People like to be entertained.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I like nightlife. So
Nightlife one. Okay.
Yeah.
not necessarily like EDM clubs, not like that. Where people are just ordering like Adioses and Long Islands all night. No,
Yeah.
not that.
Because they're rolling.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I think that a lot of people do get.
You're right,
those
yeah.
things like they think they're combined and it's not.
Yeah, I know.
Because where I work is more of a nightlife crowd, just like where you work is more of a nightlife crowd, but it's not club crowd. And we will get people who come into our venue and think we are a club, and I'm like, we're not a club.
Yep.
We're just the good things you
You
like
guys do
about a
bottle
club
service?
here.
Yeah.
That's it. We're just kind of like a club,
Yeah.
I just work. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, so just please don't bring club energy to
Yeah.
a nightlife place just because you think all nightlife places are clubs.
Okay.
Yeah. I just worked my first afters. Ever.
Oh, I got it. I got to hear this.
Yeah. It was.
What kind of afters? Because there's different kinds of afters.
It was Latin.
What?
Oh, Latin. So
The one over there.
yeah,
You see
you
the
see the
sign?
little sign right there in the corner. So shout out to Maciel, Chef Vic, all the Capi gang.
Yeah.
You guys killed it. Yeah. So Vic and his family, they throw this event called Capicua, which is a Latin, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Caribbean vibe. And they did an afters. Asked me to bartend. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And it was dope. It was a 500-person venue, and it was they packed that motherfucker
Until what
out.
time?
It went from 11 to 5.
Okay, that's about.
So, yeah, went there. They opened it up. People slowly got in there. I would say about like 11:30, 11:45 is when we had like a line. It's like go time.
Yeah.
Fucking slinging cocktails till about 3:30ish, and I was like, oh, I had to pee an hour ago. I should probably go do that now. And then yeah, it was good. It was great because like it was music that I enjoy EDM. Like I listen to it, but like having that part of my culture and being able to work it. It was so dope. Everybody was having a great time. I was in a great mood. Everybody was nice for the most part. They understood like, oh, there's only 2 lines, so this might take a while, and we're moving as fast as we can. And but also, why are you guys trying to order fucking mojitos at an afters and margaritas? Like, it's tequila and soda at an afters. That's it. Have you ever been at afters? I haven't, but I know for a fact it's tequila, soda, Jack and Coke, fucking 2 ingredient cocktails. Why are you asking me for all of this fucking? No. Even I know that, and I've never been to one.
Yeah.
So I got to work and attend an afters the first time.
Have I ever asked for a margarita? I mean, I would never dare ask for a mojito
That's
at afters,
crazy.
but margarita, I don't know. I feel like.
Are you
I mean, like-
Afties regular?
No. I mean, I'll go to them off and on. I have my. I mean, I'm really into electronic music.
Yeah.
It's a big part of my life. That's a whole different topic in the world, but
Put a pin in that.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. We'll go back to that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like nowadays it's the only time when I do get to see some friends, because my friends who I went to events with all throughout my 20s, who work throughout the week, they invite me just to most shows, but I'm like, I can't work Friday, work Saturday.
Yeah.
But if I get off of like 3 a.m, sometimes I have met up with them after work at an afters until like 5.
I also went to the afters.
Oh, me too.
Goddamn.
Yeah, that took me out. I'm never doing that again until next year.
One time, I went to the afters, and
Whoa.
never again. Just like, no, just never again.
At that point, you're having brunch.
That's
No,
what-
I mean,
I was about to
it
say.
was-
you're just,
I-
you're in the next day.
it was
It's not
crazy.
an after. You're.
That's the
moved on.
pregame. That's
It was-
that's
It
what
was
that is.
no,
That's the next
like
pregame.
I'm not gonna say city, street, none of that. But when I was there, it was a Sunday afternoon, and there was a guy who was there that I met, and he's like, "I've been here since Friday night, bro." I was like, "What the fuck?" What? I was like, for me, I was like, "That's my cue." I was like, "I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna go."
Fuck.
I've been here since Friday, and it's Sunday morning.
So I was like, "That's my cue. I am out of here."
I learned that that's common in Europe though. Like,
Oh,
they
yeah,
have
yeah.
shit like that where it'll be like a week-long fucking thing, and people will be there for days
Yeah,
on end.
I was in Berlin last summer and stuff.
But they serve food and stuff too. So.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Do
yeah.
they serve showers?
Well, so it's so hot in it. They're like, it's like a sauna. So you're basically showering your own sweats. These things.
My God.
At these events, they start in Berlin, like at Europe. I mean, Friday night, and they won't close until like Monday morning. They just keep on going. That's so crazy. Yeah.
And so, did you when you went to that? Did you like stay for that duration, or did you? Have
No.
Because I just want to know what that experience is like. But
Me
not
too.
myself, but just like.
No, me too. Unfortunately,
I want to be adjacent to it.
Yeah. Like, tell me.
So a genre I'm into is definitely techno, and it's a big part of the Berlin nightlife culture. Unfortunately, when I was there, it was throughout the week. Some of the really popular clubs that do their Friday to Monday concept are only open on Friday to Monday.
Yeah.
And I was there throughout the week. So I went to some of the nightclubs that were open on the weeknight.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I didn't get to experience that. I don't know if I can even. That's a
Like,
lot.
how do you
God.
prepare for that?
I wonder how you stack the shifts. Like you don't close.
I don't
It's
know
got to be
how
more
you-
Vegas like it.
Yeah,
stack
I didn't even
rackets.
think about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just stack the shifts with a lot of booger sugar. No, there was no joke there.
Not that you're aware of. There's a lot of truth in
Just
that.
gave it to you.
But
Thanks, I
yeah, no,
appreciate
that
it.
was good.
Yeah.
That was good. And that's normally what I hear about partying like that overseas. There's
That's just so
a lot of
crazy
sugar involved.
conceptually.
EDC would be considered an afters, right? I mean,
Pretty much.
in all like technicalities, it's an afters.
I did do an afters actually in Europe, in Netherlands, last summer actually.
Yeah.
I was camping for a 4-day music festival, and
God damn.
camping it's fun. I mean, because it was a massive campground, and they have different sections, and there's different after parties going on. there'll be an after party in the campgrounds. They have silent discos going on after the festival's over. So the party is going to like 3, 4, 5 in the morning still. So
Yeah, that third day, you're probably like,
the fourth day. No, I've been to this festival 3 times. I went
oh, shit.
2017, 2022, and it was last year, 2024, on the fourth day when I was finally like, ouch. I was like, my feet.
I might be tapping out.
That has been me for all the festivals I've gone to.
Oh,
And it's
shit.
like the third day, I'm like, fuck,
Oh,
man.
damn.
Paid this money.
Is that you
let's
dancing
fucking
or
go.
just-
No, it's me like getting ready. It's like, let's fucking go. I paid this money. Come on. And we're staying till the end because I paid this fucking money. Or at least I
Attaboy.
am.
And
Like-
you only get to do that like once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so
Make it worth
the
it.
pain is only there temporary.
No, I'm talking like 10 something years ago when there were more like smaller festivals, when that was more common as opposed to like the big ones.
Okay.
Where the tickets were like 70, 80 bucks for a
I miss
3-day
small
weekend.
festivals.
Yeah, those
I
cheap
really
ass
miss
tickets for the
small
small 3-day weekend ones.
Those
Yeah,
should be
there
nice.
was. It'd still be like, you know what? It's 80 bucks, but like, nah, paid 80 bucks. I'm going to all 3 days, and I'm going from start
Right.
to finish.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
not start to finish. Maybe a couple hours after it starts.
Cool.
But
Cool.
I'm
Yeah.
going there till
That's
it
the way to
ends.
fucking do it, man. Shit the
Yeah.
hell. I mean, you pay
You're
all that
there.
money. You flew halfway across the world.
Yeah.
Why would you not go until the very
Or
last
halfway across
minute,
the
you know?
country. Like, and you're only doing this for these 3 days.
Exactly,
Like,
yes.
You can recover till next year.
Fucking exactly, yeah.
Would you ever consider, or have you ever bartended like a music festival? Since that would like kind of combine like 2 of your passions. I mean, bartending in those atmospheres, you're not like being able to do as much as you might want to do as a bartender, but like it would combine multiple.
But you meet cool people, though.
Yeah, you meet really.
Yeah.
Cool people. Have you ever done that, or? would
I
you
have
like to?
not. I've thought about it,
Yeah.
definitely. But I've also thought against it if I were to do it because I'm like, I would be just, I feel like I'd be in jail. Just like,
It's
you know,
tough,
I hear the music, I see like, just
You
the
hear
people
the-
there.
you hear the
There's someone I
oonts
really
and
want to
oonts.
see. I would just be like, I'm trapped here, you know? So,
that's fair.
and, but I do have a buddy I bartended with in the past, and he actually was bartending at a recent festival I went to, and he told me a couple of days ago he's going to bartend at Electric Forest in Michigan next
shit.
month, and he invited me if I wanted to bartend with him, and then I'm tempted, but
I've never been there, but I've always wanted to go to Electric
same,
Forest.
yeah, exactly, me too. I've never been. I've always wanted to go. I'm like, do I really want that to be my first experience? Like, I'm just gonna be working it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've thought about it, but then I also thought against it.
Yeah,
so.
because you don't have the freedom to really enjoy the
Yeah.
festival like you would want.
Mhm.
That's true. I get that.
And and we all work hard. We all work hard. So
Yeah.
we put in time. Day in day out. So to live our lives, travel.
And
so,
you're there longer than the attendees as well.
yeah.
Because you got to go there before it starts, and then you're
That's
there
true.
afterwards. So you're there a lot longer
That's
than
true.
them.
Maybe they need to start breaking that up.
Have an
Having
opener
it-
closer kind of situation.
Well, I'm not just saying an open. Well, I guess so, yeah. But scheduling it, excuse me, that way where you have some people they come in and they're there before the festival starts, and they're working in the beginning, but then about halfway through the festival, they don't have to work anymore, and then they can just enjoy the back end of the festival, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
So, like, if they started doing something like that to where you're not working the entire festival, it'd be a lot easier to get more qualified people there. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure that they have a lot of people that work those festivals who aren't real fucking bartenders.
No.
It's just whoever they could get. And it's one of their friends who thinks they're a
Oh,
bartender and tells all their friends they're a bartender.
or a mixologist,
Or an alchemist.
Yeah.
a liquid architect.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, because I know one of our friends. He is a DJ, and he was talking about how he was working at Coachella last month, and he's pretty young. He's never worked a festival. He had never been to Coachella, but when he was there, he was grabbing lunch in between, working. And as he turned around, there's Kendrick Lamar walking past him because he was working in a back area to where all the celebrities and all the people who work there were just hanging out and eating. He was like, that meant more to me than if I would have just gone to the festival because Kendrick just walked past me.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for that as well. It doesn't have to always be all or nothing. I think we need to start revisiting how we view how we ask people to work, especially within the service industry. You know, so if someone wants to work a festival, work half of it. Why do you have to work the entire festival to have it paid for and then be there? All right, just pay me for half. Pay for half of my accommodations, and then I'll work the other half, and then hopefully the money I make pays for the other half. You know what I mean? There are different ways to do it.
Yeah.
Different ways to do it.
That's pretty cool. I mean, your friend like that made his weekend. Him seeing Kendrick Lamar, he was like that made his whole weekend.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about seeing celebrities, serving celebrities, working in Los Angeles?
Fuck Jeremy Piven.
Yeah.
There's
There's that.
I don't mind it. In all of my experiences running into them, even in like other jobs I've had and with bartending, is that they, more than anyone else, generally, if they are real celebrities, they just want to be treated like regular people.
Yeah.
And so, like, whatever, impulse I may have, that is what I'm like hyper doing, is just trying to treat them as regular as possible, because that's what real celebrities want. I feel like a lot of the fake celebrities are the ones that want you to,
Acknowledge them.
yeah,
Like they're
and,
celebrity
kiss
chefs.
their ass and stuff like that. But like the real celebrities I've run into,
Like the
with
TikTokers and Instagrams.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I don't know who the fuck you are, man.
do you know who I am? It's like, I don't.
Don't.
I really
Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
No? All right. Hey, nice to
Cool.
meet you.
Now we're on the same page. Cool. So yeah, I think that's just been my thing, is like just treat them as normal as possible, like everyone else. And I really, you can actually see that they really appreciate that. If you are just providing them good service and you are just giving them good hospitality like you would any other human being that walks up to your well, then I've seen them really appreciate that, and that's kind of like what I've kind of stuck to
Okay,
when
cool.
I run into them. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. For me,
Yeah.
I treat them the same as anybody else.
Yeah,
But
right.
I think I also have benefited from, I'm a bartender. I haven't worked all of the different job codes that a lot of people have worked. I've never been a server. I've only bartended and bar backed, and that was it. And I think that a lot of times celebrities treat bartenders differently than servers, because most people do that as well. It's something different where you're sitting at a table communing, especially if you're with friends or having a meeting or something like that. The energy shifts when you're at a table and you're isolated, and how you treat that person. Whereas when you go up to a bar, there's a chance that everyone around us has to hear your interaction with me, so therefore they tread a little bit lighter too.
Okay.
So the majority of interactions, I mean, every interaction I've ever had with any celebrity, I mean, I've met a lot. And by met, I mean I've literally either served them or had a conversation with them or something, and they've
Or
always
have had extended conversations on the podcast.
that too. But I think that's also how that happened. But when I met that person, I didn't treat them as a celebrity, but they also, had I gone to their table or something like that, like when we had lunch with them about a month ago, not our server, but another server walked up to their table to talk to them because they're a celebrity. And they were like, oh, cool, thank you, and this and that. And they were like, such a Hollywood thing. But not in a, I didn't want to talk to that person kind of way. They were just like, God, that is kind of weird. You just walk up to a table and say all of those
It
things.
was interesting to watch that happen.
Yeah. But celebrities
people
don't
do
walk up to the bar unless they need something.
Yeah.
So there's the difference. Like, you have surrendered all of your fame and everything because you need me right now. And
Yeah.
I've always been on that side.
I see that.
Yeah, I found, celebrities, it's funny. So, I've served my good share too as well. And it's, I guess now whenever I travel and I tell people in another state or another country where I'm from, Los Angeles to be exact, if I'm in Europe, people are like, oh, you're from Los Angeles, Hollywood? Oh, do you know Justin Bieber? I'm like, what the
Like, yeah, man.
I'm like,
I was just doing drugs with them before I came out here.
people,
Crazy guy.
people ask me questions like that, like,
I have served
like,
them
or like
before.
if I've seen like these celebrities, I'm like, no,
Fuck that. Tell them, yeah, roll with it. Just fucking roll with it. Maybe it'll get you some free shit.
Although the first, I think the first time I was 23 years old, I did see my first celebrity. I think it was George Lopez, and the first time I saw a celebrity as an adult or just as a person actually, and I was like, whoa, this is so crazy, like, whoa, he's right there. I saw this like glow, and yeah,
Saw their little
yes,
door, it
yeah.
was orange.
After that, and I didn't bother the guy, but after that, I continued to like serve more and more and see more. And no, I
They're
mean,
just people.
It's like you said, I know they want to have a good time. Like, why would you bother them? And I don't even want to do that.
Yeah, they're
I-
literally just humans.
I think only one time I felt the urge to like really do something, one time, and I still didn't. But that person was Harrison Ford, Han Solo. Oh, and God, that was hard for me, you know, because and I didn't even know it was him. I was working at this pub in Los Feliz, brunch, and I was pretty out of it. I was just I looked up and I didn't recognize the guy. He grew out his beard, he was covering half his face. Looked like Santa Claus.
Smart.
Yeah, right? And ordered Guinness. And I'm pouring it. I let it sit, walk away for a couple of minutes. And my coworkers, the other staff, are whispering off in a corner. I go up to them, ask them what's up. They're telling me that Harrison Ford is at the bar. I was like, no fucking way, where? And they're like, right there, you just fucking serve them. I was like, no, I was like, I didn't think that was him.
That's
and
just a
then
homeless
and
guy.
and he was like in a full jogging attire, like track pants and just tracksuit. I went back, finished the Guinness, gave it to him, gave me his card, Harrison Ford. I was like, no fucking way. I went from being just like kid, 5, 6, 7 years old, watching these Star Wars movies, to me just giving him booze. You know, I thought that was just like so cool, and I was just like, here you go, sir. You know, you know, and but then other people who were there in the establishment started to like whisper, you know, left and right. Oh my God, that's Harrison Ford. Oh my God, that's Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Before you knew it, I think he was aware of that. He downed his beer and just got the fuck out of there. That's so. I saw that and I was like, that sucks when they can't even go out and have a fucking beer, even like covering half his fucking face with his beard.
Yeah.
Like that sucks. So, I don't bother them though. But that was pretty cool. Him. So
That's similar to, like you mentioned Bieber, and that's literally similar to how I ended up meeting Bieber. Was
Okay.
He came into my bar when I worked in Seattle, and he lived like in the area or went to a church there in the area, but he was there in the daytime when we were at our slowest. And it was him, his wife, and 2 of their friends. They looked like they were a couple. But when I came in to work, I was only there to work a private party in another section. So I just came in thinking, I need to set up my bar. But all of the stuff I needed was right in front of where he was sitting at the bar with everyone else. So I come in, grab all my stuff, and I just did what we would always do when we see a guest sitting at the bar, and they're sitting right in front of where you are. You acknowledge them. I was just like, oh, hi. How y'all doing? And they were like, oh, good. And I just went on about my day, and I went into the other bar that's in a separate room, and I'm setting it up, and my coworker comes up. He's like, how did you keep your composure when you were talking like that? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, do you not know who you were just talking to? I was like, a random white guy? And he's like, that's Justin Bieber. And I was like, oh, all right, well, my party starts in 5 minutes. And I'm not, you didn't set up my bar, so that's why I rushed past talking to Justin Bieber. So you go talk to Justin Bieber, and I'm going to finish setting up my party because I got to make this money. But they were just hanging out and just playing games because of the place I worked at. I can say it. Fuck it, I don't work for them no more. It was when I worked for Lucky Strike. But they knew to come in at a time when we were at our slowest and no one else was there. And they were there for a couple hours until, again, people started acting really weird because they would see them around the venue and then they got to leave. And I'm like, why make them feel like that? It's like, all right, cool. Yeah. Just calm it down a little bit, man.
It just sucks because, like, I don't know, I've just been in a few places where you can feel, it's literally the air changes when people start recognizing them.
Yeah.
Start spreading, like,
Yeah.
what did you see? And it's just like,
you can feel it. It's like, you're just like, oh, shit.
And, like, but, like, everybody's having a very calm, normal time until people start recognizing, and then you're just kind of like, we could all still have just like a normal time and just not really make a big deal out of that person over there that's just a human being that sings a good couple songs. You know what I mean? And yeah, it just kind of, it sucks, like you guys are saying, for that person.
I can't imagine being in their shoes, you know, and that was just one moment that we caught that, you know, they probably go about down their day-to-day lives. So,
yeah, he
That's
just wants
terrifying.
a Guinness.
I know.
Yeah.
Just wanted to
Did
get
you see that man
and
rush a Guinness?
he was out jogging because again, full tracksuit,
Yeah.
and
It stopped for a Guinness.
and
that's my kinda
exactly.
guy right there.
'Cause as soon as he
Legend.
finished
My
it,
kinda guy.
he left the establishment and he just got right back to just jogging.
Yeah.
He was just jogging. I was like,
Fuck
okay,
it.
I was
Guinness
like,
on his
nice.
stomach.
I was like, liquid carbs, huh?
G.
That's
That's
crazy.
a fucking G, man.
Yeah.
I am not jogging with a Guinness
I
on my
fucking love
stomach.
that. I loved it.
I'll power walk. I'll power walk out that
With
bitch,
a
but I'm not
fresh Guinness.
jogging.
He just chugged it too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm taking my time with that.
Yeah.
It's an English preface.
But
Or
that was pretty
Irish, I
hard. I
guess.
was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably the only time I wanted to just say something, but still didn't though.
I was going to ask you, like, what, again, because you worked in so many different types of environments, what do you now look for in a job that you want, like a bartending job that you want to work at? Like, what are, like, the criteria that you're looking for?
That's a good question. I mean, I feel like, once you do this long enough and you've developed a good resume, you're able to just be more selective,
Right, exactly.
So that's a good question, definitely. I guess a goal of mine is every time I leave a job, my next place is to always be an improvement or an upgrade instead of kind of downgrading. So yeah, it's always been a goal, just like cooler bar, another cooler
Yeah.
bar. So
What kind of
there's cool bars, So.
what kind of bartending would you not want to do? Like what when you look at everything, like what's your least favorite one? Like they're like, I would never do that shit again. I'll start. For mine is craft bartending.
What is it?
Craft.
Craft?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's
See,
not for me.
it's fun.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
cool. It's
It's
flashy.
so cool. It's dope. It's all of that
Yeah.
stuff. It's just not for me.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't care enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not super passionate. When I go to a place, give 100%. Don't ask me to do homework if I'm not being paid for it off the clock. If you're asking me to do this and this at home,
Yeah.
you better be fucking paying
It's not
me
a
for
nice
this shit.
world.
When it comes to that, I'm like, this is not the place for me.
It's a very competitive world, definitely.
That is not the place for me. I'm not a right fit for it. I'm not saying it's a bad place. I'm just not the person that should be occupying that job.
It's funny because meanwhile, I have like 20 Instagram posts of like different garnishes and how to make them just like saved and tucked away. I never get a chance to use most of them because they're just not appreciated at my spot. But like, I just like, oh man, that's really cool. I might, if I have some downtime, like work on that sometime. But yeah, it's interesting just how everybody kind of has their thing.
I look at it as like, especially today in today's economy, time like really is money. So if you're gonna ask me to take time out of my day when I'm not in this establishment to do something for that establishment, it's like you need to pay me. And if you're not paying me for it, then I need to find somewhere else to work because I'm not in college. I dropped out as I don't want to do homework. I don't want to do homework for a job. Like if it's not my passion, then I'm just gonna go somewhere else.
That's a fair response. I mean, yeah, I've heard that response from other people in the past, and it's very fair and respectable too. But yeah, it's not a nice world. I mean, because it's constantly always growing.
It's competitive.
Very competitive too as well.
It's competitive as
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I got a kick out of it though. It's fun.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool to see and being in it for a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is dope, but I don't want to learn this shit, bro. Like, just let me show up and do my work and then go the fuck home. I don't want to have to research some shit or try to come up with, like, I don't care that fucking much about it. Like, I'm gonna show up and do my job. Shout out to the people that do.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to learn how to fucking make, I don't know, how to make a cider from scratch or do it at work. Like, dude, no, what the fuck are we doing, man? What am I doing here?
I'm being the best at the job I'm
Yeah,
getting.
yeah, for sure. But that's why I said, then I'm in the wrong place. Then I need to go to another bar.
Because like I've always like, if I was a janitor, I'm gonna learn how to be the best janitor, even like whatever that is. And so I think that's why I appreciate like doing a little bit more than just like showing up and just doing the cocktails that are like there on the menu, but just like figuring out, okay, what else can I do to add to the experience of the guests? And I think that comes down to sometimes doing a little bit above and beyond what's just on the menu. And so like that's why I don't know. I understand where you're coming from, but also be the best at your job. And I feel like sometimes that is going a little bit.
You're already
above,
paying me minimum wage, so.
But you,
Well, I want to stop us from spinning in circles on this one because, and the only reason I say that is because I think that's probably one of the most unique parts of this show is that we have. I mean, this is not a bartender podcast. I know all four of us are bartenders
Because these
but
servers
as
don't
you
want to come
know,
up here and defend
this
themselves.
is a service industry podcast. We have had chefs, servers. We've had a bar owner on recently. Yeah, I mean, you should have just saw that episode. Shout out to Garnett. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Hopefully you're watching this episode too.
Oh yeah, you can stand up. I'm standing up.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna stand up
I've
in a
done it
minute
from-
too.
from the first
But
minute.
I just want. I'll sit in solidarity with you for now because you just got off work too. Anyway, point is,
I'm not standing.
point is, I remember our conversation during episode 146 with Garnett, and
okay.
we had talked about.
Bro, I've lost track.
And I remember there was a part towards the end of the episode where P had said that you were the most passionate about bartending out of the three of us, and you looked at me and you thought I was the most passionate. And when I responded, even we had another conversation as we were setting up all of this for this episode, and I said it isn't that my passion for bartending has changed. It's just that I've realized that my energy is better suited going in a different direction as far as my style of bartending. You know, I had a guest ask me, it was either last night or Sunday night. I've been working a lot of shifts lately, so they're all kind of blending together. But I remember having a conversation with a guest, and they asked me straight up, they were like, do you have do you have a passion for cocktailing? Like, I don't know if that's verbatim what they asked, but it was the gist of it. They wanted to know, like, what kind of drinks do you make? What is your favorite drink you've ever created and all that? I was like, I don't care about the drinks I make anymore. But it's because I know that I'm doing the best that I can to make that drink to the best of my ability. So you will get the best version of that cocktail that I can give you. That is my bare minimum. I have to make this drink the right way every fucking time. But I've also learned that in the time that I've been doing this job, my priorities and the priorities of those around me have shifted. I have other people around me who love making cocktails, who love making garnishes, who love the craft of it. But because they put so much energy into doing that, this motherfucker can't do their closeout to save their fucking life at all. Or they,
he's not wrong.
it's just you. So
Sounds
you,
personal.
so I'm saying this is
Too many
one of those things where we've talked about it before. You end up having to do some of these other side things because other people can't do it because now they are so dedicated into this. And, I've had a guest, his name's Andy. I don't think he watches the show yet, but he should eventually. But this motherfucker will come in there and talk to me about whiskeys and scotches in a way where I'm just like, fuck. How is he schooling me the way he is? And then I thought about it. He's schooling me because he's passionate about his whiskeys and his scotches. Had other guests passionate about their rums, about their gins and the things like that. I can't keep up with all of what the guests want, as well as my coworkers, as well as the owner, as well as the manager. It made more sense for me to shift. So I said all that to say, whereas I used to be more like you, and then I started to be like him, but I've also started to be like you. And that's what I realized was my job of being in the service industry at this point, is trying to be an amalgamation of those around me to help them in the parts that they can't necessarily do because so much of their attention is put into that.
Yeah.
So I understand where you say, don't give me homework. Don't try to make me do all this extra work because that's not what I'm good at, because he's better at talking to guests when he wants to and creating an experience that
When
way.
I can. When I
Right.
can.
But just saying, like, he
little footnote
realized what he was better at. And I remember when he was working at Here and Now, he's like, I'm not a craft cocktailer like some other people and like you, pointing at me, because at the time I was trying to be a craft cocktail. I was really into it. okay, so I can't hold it against him to not be the craft cocktailer, just like I can't hold it against you for not wanting to not work production. You know what I'm saying? You figured out what was the best version of you for you to do your job. And I think that a lot of times people don't always give not saying you don't, but, or you, or anyone. I'm saying out there, people don't give each other the amount of grace anymore of not being good at something. And, you know, not to, you know, try to play a broken record, but social media does have a lot to do with that, because people come in and they think everyone's a mixologist. Everyone's a 5-star bartender. Everyone should be wearing an apron. Everyone should be doing prep. You know,
You should have a handlebar mustache.
bro, there's so much that's put on every single bartender, and not every bartender can do it, just like every server can't do every serving position the same way, just like every chef. Like, someone who cooks Mexican food can't just cook Japanese food, but if they work at a Japanese restaurant, they're going to learn the best way to cook Japanese food.
Yes.
You know, so I just wanted to bridge the gap between what you two were saying as well as
I
for
can
anyone
also
else out
say
there.
that I'm projecting a little bit because I dealt with an entire team that didn't know the specs for our 9 drinks that we're rolling out.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm just like, do a little homework to learn the specs that are on the menu. If people are not doing that, then I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
But
that's
where I'm going to say, pay me that. Pay me to learn.
No.
If you're doing all these changes, then set some time aside for us to come in here and, you know, go over the cocktails, talk about them, learn, and then quiz us, whatever, but pay me for it.
I do like what you said about a lot of things. Sorry.
But before you say
but
that,
so-
I just want to say, even what he's saying in relation to where you work, we all know the person who's in charge of all of that, and they were saying the same thing. Why am I not getting the opportunity to train my staff?
shit.
You know what I mean? So there's always these deeper things that go into play to where your frustration comes in, and someone who works with you who's more like him, their frustration comes in. It's like, if you're not training me, but I also get what you're saying. It's like, well, you got to want to be trained too. So
yeah.
just, he had said that other thing, and it made me think about him. Like, yeah, there are always other
I
layers.
also agree with you, too. Like, yeah, just learn it.
Yeah.
Cool, but pay me.
Yeah. What were you saying, Daniel?
a
Fuck
couple
you, pay
things,
me.
a couple things that you said that I liked and agreed with. So first off, I hate training. I don't like to train. It could just be just from like years of just training people and just not being fucking paid for it, you know, etc.
And when you say you hate to train, you mean you hate to be the trainer or
Yes.
being trained? Okay.
Trainer,
Yeah.
yes. But I mean, every now and then, like you know, there'll be someone like, you know, like a bright shining star. I see that like the talent in, I just can't deny, and yeah, you know, I'm like, fuck it, let's fucking do it. And the best advice, I mean, I think this is pretty cool. Sometimes some people will ask a bartender, what's the best advice you can, you know, give me sometimes? Best advice I can always give any newbie is I'll tell them, honestly, when you're starting out barbacking or bartending, just like be a sponge and be very observant and learn from everyone around you, whether they suck or they're good. Places you go to, just be observant and absorb and apply it to yourself and develop your own style and technique, and you know, find out who like what kind of bartender you actually want to be, you know, in this industry.
Be a sponge, not a brick.
Unless you can sell it.
Oh.
No? Okay. All right. Never mind.
I don't. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all I got for that.
Normally,
All right,
But
push
yeah,
your
you
team.
know, but basically just be the best version of yourself. You know, don't, you know, try and be so hard and be like this one person, oh, that person. Just be the best version of yourself, who you can be.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's
Yeah, because finding out what you bring to that particular bar team or environment or whatever is the most important thing. Because trying to like mimic what someone else is doing, it's like that's not me at all.
Yeah, because you know, there's a lot of great, talented bartenders all throughout Los Angeles that I've worked with and stuff. And sometimes someone you know, who your establishment might hire might have a whole history of experience and accolades and accomplishments and trophies, and they're just not the right fit for that bar maybe that you're working at. Maybe, you know, their experience is all sports bars or like all nightlife or all craft, and then the bar that they're currently staging at or training at is just not the right fit for them, and they just yeah, you just don't adapt well. So,
Well, we always say you got to read the room.
Yeah.
Like, you got to, read your
Read
job.
the
You
fucking
got to
room.
read your job too.
Yeah.
Don't try to force yourself into a job that you don't fit in.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if you bring nightclub energy to a fucking like a 5-star restaurant,
Yeah.
it's gonna clash.
It's gonna.
It's gonna
But if you
clash.
bring nightclub energy to a nightlife establishment, there's a good chance you're gonna fill a void that the venue you're working in is really looking for. That's why
Yeah.
they're hiring you.
Yeah.
Because they're looking at your resume and they're saying this person has done high volume club environment, and we are a nightlife. We don't get that busy, but we get busier than just your average craft cocktail bar or dive bar. So we need someone who can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
So-
love to work at a dive bar again. A good dive bar, not the one that we worked at.
Yeah.
Because
That bar
that's
had
that's
so much potential.
that's what I like. Like this isn't a dive bar, but I can be a little bit more informal with people here.
Yeah.
Like because we do a lot of like you see the spaces, dance floor, music and stuff. So like I get to have fun here. But I love the dive bar atmosphere. Like
it's a whole different playground.
I fucking love it. Just being able to shoot the shit with people instead of being like, well, can I get you something else, good sir? Like, that's not me, bro.
Yeah. Upscale.
Well,
dive.
this is fresh squeezed lemon juice picked from the orchards, and like, bro, I don't. Yeah,
can still be
these
fresh
the
juice.
grapes in this wine were grown in the soil from fucking Florence. Dude, I don't fucking know. It's red or white. What do you want? What do you want? Pick which one.
Again, it could be fresh juice. Just let it be locally sourced and not that expensive.
It is funny
easy
when
to
a guest does go to a bar, it's not this like it's not a wine restaurant or a wine bar, and they do ask for you have two options, red or white, and it's one or one,
Yeah.
and they start asking questions like what year that wine is from, and like what city, country, it's from. Like
Where are the grapes
bruh,
from? Planet
this
Earth,
is not the
motherfucker.
place
I
for
don't
that, man.
know.
You see where you're at, man?
Or you're like, grapes, bitch, this is wine. Just show you're really diving. What the fuck you mean grapes?
You want some juice? We ain't got no juice.
Is this gluten free, motherfucker? It's vodka. What do you think? You tell me. I don't know. It's fucking alcohol. Do you want it or not?
Yeah.
Just asking me dumbass questions, pissing me off. Like,
It's like the people that go to a dive bar or even a nightclub and start asking for like a Manhattan, and it's just like, I mean, we can make it, but why?
but I'm gonna fucking hate you,
Yeah, but why? Just nah.
Oh,
and
no,
I'm gonna
I-
make you wait next time.
I was once working at a club, and last call Saturday night, 1:35 in the fucking morning, it's like 3 Sazeracs. Why? Fucking
Why?
why?
No fucking way.
Why? It's 1:35. We just shouted last call, and they're like, oh,
Or,
me, Sazeracs. Like,
They'd be like, yo, missed you.
That's why I like working at
Why?
upscale dive. Give me an upscale dive place,
man.
because when someone orders something like that, after I've already said last call, I can be like, nah, shots and beers.
Yeah. Shots of beers.
Shots
or
and beers.
beers.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, it's just this. That. It's like, I ain't got no more ice. Can't you get some in the back? Nah, ice machine's off.
It's broken.
There's glass in my well.
I'm laughing because
You hit him
I've
with the
been there.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's broken. Ice machine's broken. Sorry.
Every excuse in the book.
Or when people ask for like a what is it, New York sour, or is it Manhattan sour? Oh,
New
you
York
gotta
sour.
float the
Yeah.
fucking wine on
Red
top.
wine.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. I had this one girl ask me for one,
Here?
but yeah, and I looked at her. I was like, you. Look where you're at.
I try and
You
be
don't-
open-minded
I can
in
do
these
it.
situations.
I can do it, and I did it. But then she modified it.
Oh.
What do you mean modified it?
It was already modified.
She modified it, because then she's like, "Oh, can I get it in the short glass?" And I'm like,
Oh.
"Okay."
You don't get your bitch ass
And
back
then-
on that short bus.
And then,
At that point, let you just do it how you're gonna fucking.
and
do
then
it
she was
trust you,
like, "Can you put it on the rocks?" I was like,
No, nah, bitch. You just at the wrong place.
so then I told her straight up. I was like, it came to the wine part. I'm like, I'm not good at floating. And that motherfucker just sank
Just
all
sank
the way to the bottom with the rocks. And I forgot what she said, but she made a comment about how like it didn't float. And I was like, yeah, it's on the
That
rocks.
joint became
I legit told her, I'm like, well, it's supposed to be in a coupe.
God.
nah, it became a sour sunrise or something.
Bro, the only thing sour there was me, because I'm like, you fucking, you're a jerk. Why would you do that to me? And then you modified it twice.
Yes.
Twice.
Oh, man.
Like
Crazy.
you okay, so you don't like these. You're just ordering it because you probably heard about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever had like any like trendy drinks that you just kind of like hated? Like for me, it was the Spagliato, Negroni Spagliato, like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That shit fucking ruined
That was fucking
2 weeks of my life.
It's the only time in my life I've ever been mad at lesbians.
Was when?
At what?
Dead ass.
Wait, I didn't.
No,
I didn't hear.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
hear.
I said,
Oh, wait. Okay, now I know what he said.
and a lesbian told me that. Dead ass. My homie Danny, she was like, I'm only ordering it because a lesbian woman that's really hot ordered it online, and now I'm getting it.
People do
She's
that. People do that shit
Yeah.
nowadays. They fucking do. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't blame them. I mean, some people, they really don't know what to order when they go out.
They
so,
never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try and always ground myself because I've been doing this for so long. You know, I try and put myself in their shoes sometimes
Sometimes.
because people are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
They are
But you know
fucking
what?
stupid.
Yeah, it's like the couple that I served the other day. Their first night out. I'm like, this is like, I don't know.
That one's a little different as
Yeah.
opposed to the mid-20s person that goes out almost every weekend. That's different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
also working in Los Angeles, especially in downtown Los Angeles, or even very close in the vicinity. I try and keep in mind we get a lot of tourists from different parts of the world, and maybe they have this vision, when they come out here that whatever bar they go to, even out here, like that they can order New York sour and it's gonna be awesome all across the board at every bar they go to in LA. I try to keep that in mind. I'm like, we get a lot of tourists, but yeah, read the room.
You're on the wrong coast.
Yeah.
That's on the other side. It's called a New York sour. You're in LA. The fuck?
You just order an LA sour for me.
I think there is we did have one on our menu called the LA Sour. I don't know if there is an LA Sour or we just had one on our menu for a while, but I do remember there being a time.
What made an LA sour, if I
I
may
don't
ask?
remember because it didn't sell.
You just float blue curacao. That's the Dodgers. Blue.
I'll give him that. Give him that.
Yeah.
Yeah, give him that.
You just float some blue curacao right there.
That would be gross as
It
fuck,
would.
though.
Wouldn't be that bad.
No, it wouldn't.
Wouldn't be that bad.
It wouldn't be.
I hate the taste of blue curacao. It's just
Yeah, but I mean, you're just
sweet as
tasting the
fuck.
blue at
Same.
that point. Blue don't taste good.
No.
How anti-LA of you.
That was the worst Huggy, like growing up. You know the little Huggies?
Oh, the fucking juice.
Yeah, little juice.
Oh.
Were you thinking the Pampers?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a wild tangent we just went down. Okay.
He thought Pampers.
All right.
Dated too many single moms.
All right.
Oh, man.
We'll bring it back real quick. Like, based on everything that you have all been through and your passion, you said you're a lifer. Do you have like, I guess like any like aspirations for like where you want to go in the industry? Do you want to own your own bar? Do you
definitely.
want to start your own distillery? Or
I'm a big beer nerd. I love beer. I've worked at a few places where I've had good experience with different craft beer from all over the world.
Yeah.
I helped open up a brewery in Eagle Rock one time too. So I'm a beer nerd all across the board for sure. I may not seem like it because I know I'm skinny as fuck, but thanks to my fast metabolism, I don't have a beer gut, but I drink it all. It's my kryptonite. It is. I would love my own brewery one day, definitely.
Nice.
In LA. Where exactly, not sure when. If the opportunity arises for the right location, then I'm there. But yeah, I would love my own brewery one day, and I'm really into like dank sours, dank IPAs, just like cold crisp lager.
So
Man,
LA,
getting
bro.
real LA with it.
So
So
LA.
and I want it to be fun. I like fun. I like fun things. So there'll definitely be events. Bi-weekly events, weekly events. Whether I don't know, a comedy night. Things like that, or live music bands. It'll definitely be a part of the community too as well. No matter where it ends up at, definitely. I definitely want to be involved with the community no matter what. Yeah.
Dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
I would love to see that brewery.
thank you.
What are your red flags for
Let's bring it home.
customers and then for coworkers?
Oh, this
You
is
saying
good.
it so
Oh,
eerily.
this is
You
fucking
did.
no. That's good. Damn. Oh,
You
shit.
being the only one standing didn't help. That.
Yeah.
Arms folded. Like
Yeah.
last question on the test.
red flags. Let's see.
Coworkers or
Fucking
customers?
I'll start with customers first.
Yes.
Fucking Friday, Saturday nights. 12:30 in the morning. It's just like wall to wall. It's fucking busy. You've been waiting in the back. You finally push to the front. You've had all that time of standing in line and waiting, and for you to just push to the front and be like, I want something sweet with vodka. What do you guys like? What do you guys make? And it's just too busy for that for me to just start providing suggestions.
Yeah.
My blood starts to boil in that moment, and I'm just like, oh, I saw you back there fucking like minutes ago. I'm like, man.
Could've
So that
Googled
red
something.
flag for me, definitely. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's fucking annoying.
No, that is fucking excruciating.
That is
Let's not
the
gloss over that. That is
most-
fucking excruciating.
most painful experience. Like
Diabolical.
in here too, because we get fucking packed. When people are like, "Oh, what do you guys have?" Our menus are right. They're placed right there in fucking front of you.
So now you know where the
So
menus
fucking
are
look at the
outside.
menu, and they're like, "Oh, what do you guys have?" And it's also loud, so the music's really loud. The acoustics are really
That
bad
part.
in here,
Yeah.
so it's loud, so you can't fucking hear me, and I'm not gonna shout.
Yeah.
Oh, what tequilas you guys
That
have?
part too. So yeah,
They're
live
they're right
band
there.
playing,
I don't know if
DJ
the camera can see,
mixing,
but you're right.
No,
They're right
no,
there.
no, 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 no.
and I want to
no.
hear like the reposados you have, and I'm like, the
So if
fucking
you use
band
your-
is
I
playing
need-
right
I
now.
gotta
I'm like,
If you
I gotta
use your fucking
piggyback off
eyes.
of that because, all right, we need to talk about American healthcare. Because
Oh,
why
yeah.
can't any of you motherfuckers see these bottles that are, 2.5 feet behind me?
Yeah.
And you can't, I can't see what you have. Like, what tequilas do you have? Literally, my hand goes right here. There's about 1.5 feet between my hand and the bottle. And you will have a guest be like, I'm sorry, I can't read that.
Oh, I didn't bring my glasses.
What do you
That
mean?
sounds like a you problem. Why didn't you step out the house with glasses and contacts?
Wait. What do you mean you can't read it? It's fucking illuminated. There are lights behind the bottle
For a reason.
That's
Jackass.
what they're there for. Or,
Yeah.
and I've had a guest do this, which is part of why I'm so pissed off. Because as Dave Chappelle said, modern problems require modern solutions. Take the fucking phone that you're sitting here holding and doing all this other bullshit with. If you can't see it, take a fucking picture of it and zoom in.
The camera quality is good.
Do
You can
anything.
read. You
I'm
can read
just saying. Figure out what you want before you get to me so that you don't have to be in front of me for longer than you need to be. Period.
But you're also looking for the label that you recognize, which you'll be able to recognize it. You don't need to read it. You just need to see the label. You'll recognize it. Fucking oh my god.
And if
What's
you don't
what-
recognize
yeah,
it,
I used to beat myself up, for like years, with just all that that we all just said. And recently, I was like, I gotta like stop letting my blood boil from just this shit. So
Yeah.
I tried to put myself in the guest perspective and shoes, and these people who work Monday through Friday 9 to 5s, when they do choose to go out, they some of their inhibitions are turned off, turned down, and because they want to go out and enjoy themselves and have a good time. I try and always keep that in mind,
Yeah.
definitely. So
Try.
so do I.
Yes.
Try.
So do
Yes.
I.
What's
I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I'm a human being just like them,
Exactly. And I understand and I appreciate that you're, going to bat for them a little bit. At the same time, though, we're all adults. And if you want to spend your hard-earned money on something, why are you trusting a stranger without doing any research that's right in front of you? The same way
People
that
trust us. People fucking
they
trust
really
us.
do. They're like, you're the expert. It's like, no,
Oh my
I'm
God.
not. I'm just a person who's clocked in right now. I am
Yeah.
not the expert.
Like imagine going to McDonald's and asking like, "Yo, so what do you usually get when you're off the clock here?" And you're
What's
just like,
good here?
Yeah, what's good here?
everything that's on the menu? Otherwise, it wouldn't be on the fucking menu.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I mean, yeah,
that's not entirely
people do
true,
trust
but-
us, and like when they do ask me things like, you know, they're like, "Is it good?" I'm like, "I like it." And they're like, "But is it good?" I'm like, "I wouldn't like something that's not good." You know, like,
Yeah.
I am the person that literally everything they ask me, hey, do you think this is good? Yep, it's good. Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
honest, and that's my issue. Is I'll be honest. If I don't like it, I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I don't like it." Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, like why not? But I would also say I'm like, I don't like sweet, you know, so I don't like this, but. Literally 95% of the people that order this fucking love it. It's just
Right,
me who
yeah,
just
yeah.
doesn't like sweet. So I'm honest in that aspect.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah, I try to do the same, but I will tell someone when they're like, "Oh, surprise me." I'm like, "I don't even know if you like surprises. Like, I don't know anything."
Shot him
about
alert,
you.
bitch. Here you
I
go.
don't know what you like. I don't know. I don't know what you had earlier. I have no idea about your taste. You just sat in front of me and you're like, "Well, what do you like? What's good here?" All of these things that's not helping me help you. And I'm not trying to be, difficult. I'm literally just saying, the last 4 people before you asked me the same fucking question. I can't make your adventure for you the entire time. I'm a guide. There's a difference. You can be a guide, or you can literally just be the person pulling someone through an adventure. There are places for that. A 5-star place, you go in, you ask those questions, they are prepared, they are trained, they want to help you get through all of that. But if you're just walking, like, read the room, you walk up to a random person that you've never seen before, and it took you 5 to 7 minutes to get to the front of the line and order your drink, you should not be asking them, "Yo, what can you make for me?" Because they're going to be like, "Water or a shot." Yo, if you don't know what you want, I'm going to get you out of my face as fast as possible.
What's the strongest thing you got? A shot.
Yeah. And
That question is annoying, but I mean, no,
Yeah.
but I mean, people do ask you those questions. Though. I mean, it is wild how we can sell them almost anything. You know, like we can sell them almost anything because they do trust us, though. So
But
that
I
part
don't-
is crazy and
I
it
don't
is
want to
wild.
misuse the trust.
Definitely.
You don't want to misuse the trust. You don't want them to trust you, and then you give them something. They're like, "Oh, I hate this," or "I don't like this," and then they associate you with a bad choice or a bad decision, or think that you didn't do a good job. It's like, no, you gave me no information. So,
That part has. I mean, them trusting me has helped whenever there is competitions of like said. Companies when they have like promos at a bar that I'm working at, and like, oh, whoever sells the most of this, we'll get like free Coachella tickets. I get competitive, and
yeah.
as long as it's a good product, like, oh man, I don't want to name drop some of the brands, but if it's like a bad tequila, then that I don't feel
Like
comfortable.
Casamigos?
That I don't feel comfortable selling, then I'll get like 818. Then that I just cannot get behind and lie to you and sell to you. But yeah, I mean. If it's something else like Codigo, that's very good. Don Plano, very good. So I can get behind that, and definitely if I can sell it to you and pitch it to you. So,
Ocho.
but yeah, that's
for sure.
What's your red flags for coworkers?
Oh man, laziness.
Yes.
Laziness. If I'm opening and you, like, if I'm playing cleanup crew for you from the night before, that's fucking annoying. And vice versa. If you open and I'm coming to close and the bar is not set up for success, red flag.
That part.
Yeah.
Because it's not just you're setting it up for me, you're setting it up for success.
Mm-hmm.
You're making sure that by the time I get here, I'm able to help you if you need it. Because the last thing you want is to be coming in as the closer and the opener's there and they're slammed and then you're not set up. Because now they're falling deeper and deeper into the weeds and there's not much you can do to help them.
So laziness, fucking instant red flag. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Touche.
Did you want us to still play
And
the video?
sorry,
Oh,
sorry,
sorry,
we're all
sorry,
human
sorry.
beings. I understand we all have off days. I understand we all can fucking get tired. I understand we all have personal lives. Everyone has family, kids. I understand that, but like it's the repeated, constant laziness that I don't like.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
So before we head out of here, what's one last thing you would like to share, say, anything? We'd like to give you the floor. I think this is something we can do going forward, especially when we have a guest on for the first time. Like, let you have the closing remarks, the closing things that you want to say to everyone else out there, whether they be in the industry, thinking of getting in the industry, or just a guest.
I guess I want to give a shout out to the up and coming generation of next batch of bartenders. I mean, they're definitely very driven. You know, there's definitely a lot of potential and talent out there, and you know, all that's very admirable. You know, just you know, from someone who was in their 20s doing it to now, you know, approaching my mid 30s doing this, and seeing the next generation, it looks very promising. To the people who are starting out, and to the ones who want to get into it. I mean, I think I said it earlier about if you do get into it, just be a sponge, be observant, and just observe, apply, develop your own style, and just don't waste anyone's time either.
Please don't waste our time. Don't waste anyone's time.
Yeah, you know, I was gonna hate like training like a new bar back, and they've never worked in a bar or restaurant, and they're just trying it out to see if it's for them. And I'm just, at that point, I already know it's not for them. And I wasted my time and energy in investing into training you, and that's annoying.
Yeah. You want your investment to be going toward something where you can get a return.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of not wasting your time and getting a return, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, share, turn on those notifications. So you can see whenever we're putting out these videos. They're coming out a lot faster than you're ready for. Pause. Just saying. But yeah, thank you again, Daniel, for coming on. We really, really fucking appreciate you sharing your story.
This was so much fun. Thank
you so much.
This.
Thank you. Yeah. And we can't wait to have you back on. You know, we've changed our format lately, so we like doing these guest interviews to introduce people. But then we also have our new format where, you know, we watch some content and kind of react to that and talk about those things. And so looking forward to having you on one of those episodes as well.
Give me all that shit. I would love to contribute to that.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and make that happen as well. But until then, as we've said, like and subscribe, rate, comment, review, all of those things. Let's get this show out there more so we can have bigger episodes, more guests, better production, a producer, all of those things. But until then, man, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and each other. I fucking fumbled it, the old Soul Train line. Yeah, I think it was Soul Train. No, it's Love, Peace, and Soul.
Love, Peace, and Soul.
I fumbled all over this closing. Yeah. Cool.
Are we doing like group cheers right now?
Yeah. As always, guys. Cheers to the
Cheers.
staff.
Kanpai. Salud.
Salud.
Prost. All the above.